FanDuel,
DraftKings,
BetMGM, Prize Picks,
Underdog, Hard Rock Bet,
Daily Bet,
PointsBet,
ESPN Bet.
This, ladies and gentlemen, is gambling. To be more specific, the epidemic of gambling. With there being like 50 different platforms that you can gamble on, 50 different apps that you can gamble on, no matter what it is, you can gamble on everything you want. You can gamble on your phone, you can gamble on your Apple Watch, you can gamble on your TV, you can gamble on pretty much anything you can possibly think of. In fact, studies show that about 85% of adults that live in the United States of America have gambled at some point in their life.
Watch any sports at all, ads for sports betting have become inescapable. Even if you muted every commercial and closed your eyes until the game came back on, it's still plastered everywhere. DraftKings promos pop up in the middle of a play, there's BetMGM billboards behind home plate, FanDuel logos on the court, on the microphones. They come at you from every angle, pepper spraying you in the face.
I feel like pepper spraying it in your face is the perfect way to put it. Every single place that you can think of has some sort of gambling put into it. It can either be a gambling ad or it can be a gambling platform. For example, like, Roblox. It's not a gambling website, but it has gambling features in it. Now, this might be TMI, but even Pornhub has gambling. It's actually pretty fucking crazy. With me watching the Nuggets play this season, by the way, we're performing extremely well. I'm very proud of you guys, in case any of you are watching this video. But there's about 500 different ads for gambling, and these ads are plastered everywhere. As Drew Gober said earlier, it's on the side, it's on the mics, it's everywhere you can think of. It's on the screens. It's in every single possible place where it can be. It is. Every single time out that we get, there's about like 5 or 6 ads that play, sometimes a little more, sometimes a little less. To be honest, I cannot tell you off the top of my mind, but all I do know is at least 1 or 2 of those ads are going to be related to some sort of sports gambling, some sort of stakes, something that you have to place bets on, essentially.
There are 3 things responsible for gambling becoming more mainstream, but the first and biggest trend is simply the mainstream becoming more like gambling. See, Silicon Valley learned a decade ago that gambling mechanics are incredibly good for user retention, so they put them everywhere. Let's say you're shopping online. Well, now you can spin a wheel to unlock prizes. Or if you're playing video games, you can open a loot box, get some randomized items.
And this is exactly what I mean when I say it is quite literally in every single platform, in every single app. And even if it's not related towards gambling at all, it still implements gambling because it helps you, stick to it. For example, as he said, on Temu or Shein, they let you spin, those circles and it gets you like 50% off or 80% off. And that makes you want to spend money. As I already mentioned earlier, it is even on Pornhub. Even at a place where you come to jack off, it lets you spin some wheels. And I think that's absolutely insane. I think that's crazy. Coffeezilla-Exposing video was one of the best videos I've ever seen on YouTube. It's that good in my opinion. It is a great video. It's very in-depth and it's also extremely entertaining and interesting. All of my links will be linked in the description for these videos because I feel like I'm not informative enough. I'm just pretty much giving you a trailer of the movie. And if you'd like to go see the full 1-hour video, I think it's 1 hour, on Coffeezilla's video or on Drew Gober's channel, I will link both of them in the description, which is where I'm getting all my evidence from. I should say most of my evidence. Some of it was Googled and stuff. And if that wasn't bad enough already, now children are gambling as well.
You don't have a problem with loot boxes for adults, but we've also put them in kids' video games because, gotta start them young. And yes, there are actual kids gambling on these apps.
Right, I just won a bit of profit there. I had 200 Robux. No, I had 200 Robux in profit, 100 Robux in profit, but I lost them. But I had 50 Robux and I lost it, and I thought I got 50 Robux again. So on this, mine's on Robux World, what I'm gonna do is buy 40 crates now. No, not 40 crates, but like 44 crates. That looks good. Let's go. Let's go. We're in profit. Let's go.
It is absolutely disgusting to see that.
And I completely agree with Coffeezilla on this topic. I think it is absolutely disgusting to see, children gambling and children promoting it, because that kid was promoting it without knowing it, I guess, or maybe he was knowing that he's trying to show other children that, hey, if you download this app or if you go on this website, which luckily that website in particular has been shut down, but, there's hundreds like that where you can go and put in your Roblox information or other video game information, probably Fortnite as well, and you can, start gambling. And of course, you're not going to lose every single time. I can guarantee there are people going to the comments right now saying, hey, I started gambling and I won. It's part of the game, they're trying to make you win. They're giving you small wins, so when you go all in, you lose everything. Now, something that I feel like isn't expressed enough is the volume of people that are struggling with, some sort of gambling addiction, some sort of addiction to that, realm, with you probably guessing financial ruin as being one of the main ones, but in my opinion, it's one of the lesser problems. It is a huge issue, and it's not to undermine it in any way, shape, or form, but I do think that there are other things that are way worse. There's substantial evidence that proves that if you gamble, you have a very high chance of getting a divorce. It causes mental health issues and health issues, but the mental health issues that it causes are anxiety, depression, and I think the list goes on. I'll list more on the screen. It leads to health complications and regarding people sitting, doing nothing, not exercising, which I understand that's not a big deal, but to people that are addicted to gambling, they do this every day, all day, you know, especially if they have some sort of fund that can keep providing, you know, more and more money for them. And worst of all, it has increased suicide rates drastically.
10 million people in the US alone struggle with gambling in some way, a good portion of which are under the age of 25. Gambling addicts attempt suicide at a rate 15 times higher than the general population. The average debt of a gambling addict can range from $15,000 to $90,000. But where most people would see this as a problem, a few people saw it as an opportunity.
Another great point by Drew Gober, I think. Is that even his name? Guys, I just realized I misread Drew's name. His full name is Drew Gooden, I think. I could be wrong. I am sorry about that. Let's get back into the video. The large corporations, the people that have unlimited funds that are not into gambling, you know, for example, you know, the owners of BetMG, the owners of FanDuel, the owners of any other sportsbook or playmaker that you can think of, they have enough money, so they don't really care about this like, you know, people like me and you do that understand that some people are putting all their money on the table and they're getting taken advantage of and they don't even realize it. Or I guess they do realize it. I feel like if you're a gambling addict, you understand that you're playing a game that's unwinnable, but they're chasing that high that they had the first time they won a large sum of money. And if they never won that large sum of money, they are chasing a high they've never experienced. According to my research, a Swedish study was done in Sweden, I think in 2011. That could be completely wrong. I'll fix it on the screen if anything. But it shows that men and women that gamble have a 6 times higher chance of committing suicide or attempting to commit suicide. That is unacceptable. I don't understand why this isn't viewed like cigarettes, whereas, you know, it's viewed as something that's an opportunity or, you know, something like a, you know, a chance at a different life, which, yeah, your life will be substantially worse.
Now that gambling has gone from being in a place you have to go to do it, to being accessible on your phone at any moment, there's nothing stopping these apps from trying to lure you in constantly, and they're really good at doing that.
Addiction is intensified, he says, by how much the gambling companies know about each user. That data was used to tailor offers and push notifications to keep the guy in action.
They knew the life stage, the customer life stage it was at, so win back, they described it. So people that have given up gambling for a while and they're trying to get them to come back.
Just by using these apps, you're giving them data about your gambling habits, which they can then weaponize against you. If they realize around 2 p.m. every Sunday is when you're most likely to interact with the app because you're watching 19 games at once and you're starting to get a little restless, they can tailor make a push notification just for you. Maybe they'll boost the odds of a third quarter Tyreek Hill touchdown, or they'll show you a parlay that 50,000 other people have bet on, and that many people can't all be wrong.
Now, a little side note, it's going to tie into the point very, very well, but I used to be addicted to weed. If you're new here on my channel, I used to smoke weed every single day. I smoked for about 3 years, and I smoked very heavily. Sometimes I would go through an entire 1-gram cartridge within a day or two, and I was severely addicted. My point being, when I wanted to quit at some points in my life, my plug would just, you know, shoot something on Telegram saying, hey, I'm having a discount, buy 2 for the price of 1.5, or buy 2 for the price of 1, and that would, you know, draw me back into it. It's not an excuse. I'm just saying that is true what happens. It's a mental thing, and when someone gives you great deals like that, you can't pass up on them, especially when you're a drug addict. And every single time I go to work, someone at work has something to offer. You know, someone gives me their pen, someone gives me a J, someone gives me something. Sometimes I've had times where I've came to work sober, wanting to quit, and my coworker will literally give me free bud. When you want to quit, when you want to get away from that, is when you're tested the most. And I understand this doesn't tie into gambling as much as I said it would, but I will tell you, here's how it does. These large corporations have a lot of data on every single person who uses their apps, who uses, you know, their platforms. And as, you know, Drew said in the earlier video, they literally know when to send you notifications to have a higher chance of you placing a bet. They know how to take care of you and the aspect of taking your money, I guess. And as I already mentioned, I want it to be viewed as smoking cigarettes. You know, it's every single cigarette ad you see is something to say, you know, hey, stop vaping, stop smoking. It's never something to promote it. And I think that's what gambling should be. I don't think think gambling should be ever in the ballpark of something good or an opportunity, which they keep saying it is. I just don't understand how something that can raise suicide rates can be viewed positively, and especially, you know, promoted to the degree that it is. And I think that's extremely fucked up. I think it's fucked up that we as a country are promoting this. I don't think we should in any way, shape, or form. And I think if we distance ourselves from that, we can honestly probably raise the economy as well. I understand that's a long shot and there's a lot of explaining to do with that. I'm not going to do it in this video, but I don't see us being gambling addicts as a, you know, productive thing for society at all. And honestly, if you think so, I think you have low IQ. I think if you think gambling is good, or if it's in any way, shape, or form like okay to promote, you're probably 15. You're just an idiot. I mean, you'll grow up. If you are, you know, somehow over the age of like 25 and you think this, I don't know how you made it thus far, but good luck going forward. Now, guys, I put in 3 days into this project. It took me a very long time to put this video out for you guys. I am sorry about that. I post videos almost every single day, so taking 3 days to upload a video is kind of crazy, and I appreciate you guys for being patient with me. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to leave a like, make sure to subscribe, and as always, stay blessed and have a great rest of your day. Peace.